Hey guys, it's Peyton, and today I'm going to be talking about a bunch of books that I still didn't read in 2017. And this is going to mainly consist of series that I just did not ever finish, but there's some other standalone books I believe in this pile. No, I don't know. These are just books that I literally said I was going to read, and I didn't. I'm filming this video today to shame myself and encourage myself to read them in 2018 because I did not read very much this year, but I still read, and that's all that matters. So let's just jump right into this video and shame myself. I don't know if you can see this, but I got some Christmas lights on now because I just decided that was a good idea. I don't know if this is in frame, but Christmas lights, it's so cute. The first book that I have on this list is King's Cage by Victoria Aveyard. If you think way back into one of my TBRs for this year, I said I was gonna read this book and I never did. This is the third book in the Red Queen trilogy or series, and I think I kind of just lost interest in it. I probably will still read it eventually. I don't know, something about it just got boring to me, or just wasn't as interesting as it used to be, in my opinion. This book is about a world that is surrounded by people who have silver blood or red blood, and the silver bloods are normally people that have magical abilities sort of things, and red bloods are just the peasants that do not have magical abilities until one day Mayor Barrow gets some powers, and it's like, whoa. There's just a lot of tropes in here that we've seen in so many other books, and I think I'm kind of bored with like the dystopian aspect. I guess this is a dystopian. I'm not really into dystopian anymore. That's why I haven't really picked this book up. Though one day I probably will binge this book and the fourth book that will come out sometime in 2018, I believe. The next book that I really need to read, because I want to, a lot. The House of Hades by Rick Riordan. This is, I believe, book 4 of the Heroes of Olympus series. I need to finish this series so I can continue on to the newer books that Rick Riordan has come out with recently. I'm really intrigued by those books, and I want to read this. And you see there's a bookmark in here. I'm on page 44 because I audiobooked some of this because I borrowed something from the library and then I had to return it, so then I stopped. Guilt. I want to read this so bad. I want to know what happens to Percy. This is about demigods and gods and their adventures and its beautifulness. I just love it so much. Next book is Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. This is the third and final book in the Grisha trilogy, which starts off with Shadow and Bone, which is a pretty book. These books are about the Grisha, which also have magical abilities, and things that go on. It's been so long since I read the first 2 books that I can't fully remember what goes on in these books. So I almost need to reread the first 2, but I don't want to, so I'm just gonna jump right into this book one day and try to remember everything that happens. Everyone always raves about Leigh Bardugo, and I just completely have forgotten what happened in those other 2 books, so I can't remember if I liked them. You can go on my Goodreads to check, but my Goodreads has very inaccurate reviews of how I feel now, so it doesn't help at all. I'm sure I gave them 5 out of 5 stars, but if they really were 5 out of 5 stars in my head, wouldn't I remember? I don't know. I just know that everyone loves Leigh Bardugo, and I need to understand. Maybe I will understand if I finally read this book, but right now I don't feel grabbed by it because it's been so long since I read the first 2 books. That's why I'm hopefully going to be reading Six of Crows soon, which is the companion series to this one. I want that to spark up my want to read this again. The next book is the Bane Chronicles by Cassandra Clare, Sarah Reese Brennan, and Maureen Johnson. I'm a big Cassandra Clare fan, so it's weird that I haven't read this book. I haven't heard the most amazing things, but when you flip through this, I see some very interesting names in here that I need to read short stories from, because this is a novella collection Bindup about Magnus Bane from the Mortal Instruments series and the Infernal Devices series and the Dark Artifices series. He's in a lot of series, and I love him, so I need to read his book. And I just feel like a fake fan because I haven't read this. I need to understand Magnus's full backstory that has been put out into the world because I just need to know these things. And I'm pretty sure Will Herondale is in this, and anything that I can get with Will Herondale, I'm there for. The next book that I still have not read, but really need to because I've had it forever, is the bind-up of the 3rd and 4th book in the Lux series, Opal and Origin. I read the first 2 books. What are the first 2 books? That's a sign that it's been a while. Oh my god, I have it signed. I completely forgot about that. Oops. This is why I should continue on, because that's embarrassing. The first two books is Obsidian and Onyx, which I read this bind up, and you can tell by all my favorite parts here that I enjoyed this. But I've tried to read the third book over and over again, and for some reason I can't get into it. Maybe that's just never gonna happen, or maybe I've picked it up at bad timings and I can get into this one day, because I would like to finish this series. It was a fun ride. It wasn't anything special, but it was fun, and sometimes I need a fun read, nothing too serious. Some weird stuff goes on in here. It's about aliens. Basically, this is Twilight with aliens. At least that was the first book. It was so similar. You could not tell me it wasn't. The big thing making me want to finish this is how the main character loves books, and she's a book blogger. That just makes me really happy, and I'd love to continue reading about her. We'll see if that ever happens, but 2018 could be a good year. The next book I still haven't read is The Last Star by Rick Yancey. I don't know if this came out this year or, it came out in 2016. So I've had this book for a while. This is the third and final book in the Fifth Wave trilogy. And I don't see myself picking this up anytime soon, but I do like completing my trilogies, and I haven't heard absolutely horrible things about this, but I haven't heard absolutely amazing things about this, so that's why it's been staying away from me, but I do want to know what happens. I'm intrigued to know what happens to these characters. I mainly haven't picked it up because I've heard things that just aren't making me feel good, so watch me never read this. Why is this on this list? I mean, I still haven't read it. That's why it's on this list, but I don't know if I actually ever will read it because I have no draw to it at the moment. The next book is Three Dark Crowns by Kendar Blake. I want to read this, and Reagan from Peruse Project has been raving about this. Is it a series trilogy? Recently, so that makes me even more pumped to read it. This book came out in 2016 at some time, and the second book recently came out. I don't know what it's called because I'm just not up to date. This is about three princesses, I guess, and they're competing with a fight to the death to see who gets the crown, who gets to be the queen. I thought that concept was really interesting, so that's why I picked it up basically on release week. Probably because I tend to do that and then never read it. Though I'm a lot more excited to pick it up now since Reagan from Peruse Project has been loving it recently. This one has a chance in 2018 to be read, and I hope it happens. The next book makes me so sad I haven't read it yet. It did come out this year, but I needed to read it. I bought it literally on the day it came out. I went to Target, I found it, I put it in my cart, I bought it, and I wanted to love it. I just haven't read it yet. Always and Forever Laura Jean by Jenny Han, the third and final book in the trilogy To All the Boys I've Loved Before stuff. I don't know why I haven't read this. I haven't been in a big contemporary mood, and this is contemporary romance. I haven't been feeling it, so I haven't picked it up. And I don't want to hate it because I'm not feeling it. This bookmark is so floppy. I like it. I am on page 6. That's a bit of progress, but I need to read it. I need to. Jenny Han is so good. I need to be loyal to her, especially since To All the Boys I've Loved Before is being adapted into a film that comes out in 2018, I'm pretty sure. I'm so excited about that, and I'd love to finish the trilogy before that movie comes out, just to feel the feels and all the loveliness. Next book is Rebel Spring by Morgan Rhodes. I've had this book for a while. I read the first book, Fallen Kingdoms, a while ago, and I just grabbed the second and third book in the series. I guess this is the Fallen Kingdom series, I think. I grabbed them, never read them, and I think it's because I was put off a little bit by the first one, yet I still went and bought second and third one for some reason. I was put off by an insta-love situation that I felt was there. Some people don't agree with me, but I feel it was there, and it kind of put me off a little bit. Though a lot of people love this series, so I do want to continue on and see what happens. But recently I've heard people like Sam from Thoughts on Tomes that the series goes downhill, and that does not make me feel good. But I'm sure if I just think past the insta-love situation, I can get into this. I want to get into this. The next book is Library of Souls by Ransom Riggs. This was on my list of series I don't really like anymore, which is true. So I don't know why I'm like putting this up like, oh, I'm gonna read it in 2018, because I feel no urge whatsoever to pick this up because I just don't think they're as amazing as people say they are, and I'm being controversial. I'm sorry. But like I said before, I like completing my series or trilogies, so it kind of bothers me that I just have this book sitting there all the time and I haven't read it, haven't finished it, and I just want to finish it. But I also don't think I will enjoy it. So It's kind of dumb to put myself through that. But yeah, it's on this list because I still didn't read it in 2017 and I said I would, and I didn't. So those are all the books on my list. Thank you guys for watching this video. Comment down below if you've read any of these books, or if you're in the same boat as me and still haven't read them. I need to feel like I am understood. Like this video, have a good day, please subscribe, follow me on all of my social medias, links to those are in the description. Make sure to click the bell button, which is by the subscribe button, which you should have already clicked, cause please. And goodbye.